Hi everyone, and welcome to Paper Pumpkin Week here on Creative Chelsey. Over the last week, I've shared some great card ideas you can make from the June 2025 Paper Pumpkin Kit called Full of Charm. Today I'm sharing with you my 6th alternative card idea. The kit creates a total of 9 cards, 3 in these 3 different designs, and it includes coordinating envelopes. If you'd like to watch me unbox the kit and create these cards or see any of my other alternative projects, you can click on the playlist in the top right corner. This card uses a little blending to give glowing effect to the flowers. I also added some die-cut flowers from the Circle of Season dies, which coordinate with the July, August, and September paper pumpkin kits to add a little more detail and interest to the card. Each month I take contents from the paper pumpkin kits and make alternative projects. My cards are easy to follow and can be made by both experienced or new paper crafters. You may need just a couple other products to complete them. You can follow along with me using supplies you already have or purchase any products you see me use from my online store. The link to all products is below in my description or on my blog, creativechelsey.com. So to begin with this card, we're going to trim off, we want our final dimensions to be 4 inches by 5 1/4. And I think that we can just trim, let's trim just a little, let's do 4 1/8 first, and then rotate, and we can then move to 4 inches. Then we're taking a little off of both sides. And then we'll just do 1/8 of an inch on both the top and the bottom. Actually, let's do a little off the top and just do 5 1/4. And then that's going to give us the piece that we need for the greeting and bring the flowers up just a little bit higher. Okay, so I took off 1/4 of an inch here at the top and 1/8 of an inch on both sides. And that gives me the 4 inches by 5 1/4. Now we have this little piece left over. I think this was from alternative number 3. This is the back of the gold striped piece. And we're going to cut it down so that we can get this fun gold foil design behind our greeting. So to do that, we're going to focus on just this area right here. So the easiest way to do this is actually to cut straight down from this top corner. So you see how these ones on this side are longer and these ones are shorter? We're going to just line up that point where the outside edge line meets, and we're going to cut straight down and do that on both sides. Okay, and then we're going to cut right where it meets again. Okay, so if you take this triangle shape that's here at the bottom, this triangle shape, and you're going to go up and then down, that's where we're going to meet or cut right at the beginning of that down here on the right side. And it's going to sit at about 9/16. Maybe just a little bit bigger. There we go. Okay, so something like that. If you want to trim it down some more, you can, or you can just go ahead and leave it as it is. Okay, so next we're going to take that little 1/4 of an inch strip that we cut off, and we're going to stamp it. And I'm going to use the text Happy Birthday, but you could use any greeting. I am going to stamp it in the pretty peacock color. And I'm going to just stamp it right, just anywhere. And then we're going to glue that to here so that Happy Birthday is centered. And then we'll trim it off once it's dry. Let's see, we just want it to be right in the middle. we go. So just like that. Then take your paper snips and trim the edges to meet. Okay, so I think that's so pretty, and it adds just a nice little touch to that greeting that is kind of on the small side. Okay, so for this piece, we are next going to do the blending. I've got my blending brush, and I'm going to use my Daffodil Delight color, but you could use any yellow color or a different coordinating color even. It doesn't need to be yellow. I just liked how it was warm. It kind of warmed up the card a little bit. And you could go dark or you could keep it light. For this one, I went a little dark. I'm going to maybe go a little lighter on this one. I like to change it up, see what it looks like for different cards and stuff. So that way I can kind of pick and choose the way I like it. If I like it darker or if I like it lighter. And just really focus around the edges. Don't worry about going any closer or into the flowers too much. Okay, so this one's lighter. You maybe can't really see it until we put it on the card base. So the card base is just thick, basic white cardstock. And we're just going to add it right to the center. Just like that. So right now, which one do you like more? Do you like the darker blend or do you like the lighter blend? Okay, just let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear your opinions on that. For this greeting, I'm just going to add a little dimensional right to the center. And I'm going to pop it on over this brown leaf. I don't love the brown leaf, and so that's kind of why I'm going to hide it. Just with a little bit of greeting and then just some greenery and stuff around the greeting. All right, so for the leaves, they are a die cut from the kit. They are the Pretty Peacock die cut, and I'm going to flip it over and recolor it. I've got Old Olive here. It's the dark. Well, the dark will be fine. You could do the dark or the light. Oh, the dark is quite dark. I'm going to switch over to the light. So this is my Old Olive light color. And this way I'll have some that are dark and some that are light, which is totally fine. You can color it any green color that you have. I love the, I'll do a little couple that are dark just so that it doesn't feel unusual. I love that you can change the color of these dies really quickly and easily with the Stampin' Blend markers, which just color beautifully. Okay, so there's that, and we're going to separate these into different sections. So just separate them. I'm going to cut off the top 3 and then cut the 2 here. And then I'm going to just come down to remove that branch so that I have a nice smooth transition from the top to the bottom on this one. And I think that's probably enough cutting. If I need to, I can always cut more. Actually, maybe I will it's kind of hard to decide. I think I will just cut these apart. So cut off those little berries and then maybe cut those ones in half too. I think the more you have separated, the more you're able to kind of arrange them how you want them. So I am just going to pop these on with a little bit of glue underneath. So they're not going to be on dimensionals. If you want to do dimensionals, you definitely can. This one I'm going to put on the right side. Just tuck it under there, press down. I've got my little berries on the left side. Something like that. And then we can pop in a little darker leaf if we want. Right in between those. And then I've got this one here. Maybe down below. And then I have one more leaf. Let's add it over by the other grouping. Maybe like right here. Okay. Really, you can add them wherever you want to. Please don't feel like you have to do it where I want them. So I've got the Circle of Season dies. They coordinate with the upcoming July, August, and September, and they're just really cute. Strawberry circles, a cute hello, and then they have this great floral die cut that has a little bit of detail in it. So I'm going to go ahead and cut out some of those. I'm going to do 3 in Berry Burst and 3 in Daffodil Delight. All right, so I decided to do just 2 of the Berry Burst since that's all I used on my card. And I've added them to some glue dots. And I'm just going to go ahead and tuck these around the leaves. I can get some underneath leaves if I want. I could do some on top, just whatever feels right. I wanted a little extra Berry Burst just because I love that color so much. So that's why I included that color. And it looks like this yellow one lost its glue dot. Now I'm using glue dots for these die cuts because they have those little slits in them. If I added them with liquid glue, oh, I just found what I used that last leaf for. Let's see if I can pull that up carefully. And we'll just attach that underneath. So like I was saying, because they have these little slits, the glue would just slip right out and make kind of a mess. So I'm using glue dots for that. So I added that single leaf up here next to that flower. Very cute. Now to make those flowers just pop a little bit more, I'm going to add some iridescent pearls to the centers. And I'm just going to use the tiny pearls. That's a large one. They just fit perfectly right in the middle of each of these flowers. Now I also added one more little touch to this card, and it is some iridescent or Wink of Stella, which gives it kind of an iridescent glitter feeling. So I've got my Wink of Stella brush here, and I'm just going to brush it over the flowers in the background that I can see. So the flowers and the leaves. You could do this at the beginning if you wanted to, or you can just wait and do it at the end when you won't be touching it and fussing with it. A little bit of iridescence that I've added over the flowers, but when it does hit the light, it's just so pretty. Well, I hope you enjoyed watching me create this beautiful card today. If you're interested in getting your own paper pumpkin kit, please do so using the link in the description box below to subscribe. If you would like to see written instructions or close-up images on how I created this card, you can visit my blog, creativechelsey.com. Thanks so much for watching. Have a creative day. Bye.